Alright you guys, what's up? It's me, MJFANGIRL, and I'm here to talk to you guys about these new pics that just dropped from the Michael Jackson biopic. These were some photos that we probably were not meant to see, you guys, and we're going to jump right into it. TMZ dropped an article, I believe it was yesterday, yeah, because today is the 9th and yesterday was the 8th, February 8th. Coleman Domingo and Nia Long in character as Michael Jackson's parents, Joe and Catherine, on set. I'm going to be pulling up the images on the screen as we talk about them, but you guys, first of all, I have not been on this camera for like the last 2 weeks. It's been a while. The last time that we spoke, we talked about the child actor that was cast. I believe his name is Juliano. I don't remember his last name right now, but he was cast as the young Michael Jackson, Jackson 5 era MJ. And so that was really cool news. We took a look at his like Instagram profile and that he was all into Michael Jackson and he was a big fan. And then we were introduced to a couple more characters. Number one being Coleman Domingo, who is going to be playing Joe Jackson, and then Nia Long, who, hello, everybody knows and loves Nia Long, I think, or I thought. I was actually having a conversation, and this is just like besides the point, to at least like, so I'll say this, like, to me as a member of like the millennial black community, and I think even a generation before me, everybody knows Nia Long. Like, she is a very well-known actress in I feel like the black American community, and I recently found out after some conversations that not everybody knows Nia Long. Like, I guess she's not considered as mainstream. She's always been considered mainstream to me, but then if you go back and you look at her movies and stuff, you're like, okay, I guess some of those movies didn't exactly cross over. But what I will say is that I'm super excited because to me she's an icon and like beautiful, just like the embodiment of like just an amazing black actress, and I'm excited to see what she does with this role. Obviously this is going to be a mainstream movie. They're hoping for this biopic. And I'm not making this up, you guys. I went to the Las Vegas Diamond Celebration, which was in celebration of Michael's 60th birthday. They had an estate Q&A in which the executor or the co-executor of the estate, John Branca, shared that they wanted this to be like what Ray was for Ray Charles. You know, lots of recognition from the Academy and a very good like cinematic piece, like a film, you know, not just like they don't want to be playing around with this. And so I thought that you know, like, wow, like what an opportunity for Nia Long. I'm really super happy for her, and hopefully she gets like that recognition that she's already been receiving in like the Black American community for just being amazing. And I think she's gonna knock this role out of the park. I was a little like, what? Because, you know, it's funny, and I wonder if people felt this way back then when Angela Bassett was cast as Michael's mother in the Jackson's American Dream. You know, like, to me, she's like, you know, young and youthful, and of course, like, they're gonna be going back in history, but it's just like, oh, like, okay, I guess she could play Catherine Jackson back in the day. Like, yeah, why not? So I'm excited to see that. Coleman Domingo, I'm not very familiar with him. I don't watch very many movies. It's funny because I used to be a huge computer buff, like on AOL, the internet, like the Michael Jackson forums, YouTube, nonstop. And I was never really like someone that sat down and watched movies. So I'm actually learning a lot about these actors and things as I go along. Coleman Domingo I'm not familiar with. Miles Teller was cast as John Branca. That was actually interesting. They announced, obviously, Jaafar Jackson as Michael. They announced the young Michael and the two parents, and then the next announcement was Miles Teller as John Branca. So I'm curious to see like what this storyline is gonna be. Obviously, and this is just obvious to me because I was talking to my husband, who is a huge Michael Jackson fan, but also a huge movie buff. He is familiar with Miles Teller, and he's like, I don't think he would take that role if it wasn't gonna be like a big role. So I'm curious to see what kind of role John Branca is gonna be playing in this story. I then I'm sorry, we're gonna get to the photos in a minute, but I just wanted to share like my thoughts first. Now that like the cast has been announced, I think, and based on also like some of the things we've heard about, like, oh, you're gonna see the real Michael Jackson, not the tabloid BS version, and this and that. I think that the angle that they're gonna be taking is Michael Jackson, the savvy businessman, like calculated in a positive way on how he's gonna like mastermind his career and become like this larger than life entertainer, but then like shy, meek entertainer in front of the world. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think they're gonna show like, okay, no, Michael knew his stuff. This is what he was. He was on his, you know, he was about his business, making sure he got, you know, those contracts and certain things in return for other things. And they're gonna talk about, you know, I mean, I think that that's the angle that they're going to use, and so that's how they're going to incorporate John Branca. You know what I mean? They're going to have him talking about, oh, I really want to do this thriller video. I'm going to pay for it out of my own pocket. And then John Branca is going to come and say, you shouldn't pay for that. I'll work out a deal. And for those of you guys that don't know, John Branca, yes, he's the co-executor of the estate, but prior to that, he was with Michael for a long period of time during his career. Namely, he brokered the deal for the money to get the thriller video done in exchange for the rights to a making of, which I believe was Vestron Video, and I think it was Showtime or HBO, or one of those. So yeah, so I think it's going to be really, really interesting. I had someone ask me on Instagram, like, do you think they're gonna get into like other details of his life, like friendships or relationships? And look, I'm here for it all. I'm honestly here for everything. And like, the crazy part is I was talking to my dad about this not too long ago, who he's also a fan, and you could go back if you're new to the channel. I've got some videos with him where he's talked about just his fandom and all that, and experiences, seeing Michael Jackson in concert and growing up with the Jackson 5. And he's basically, you know, around that age. He was, you know, basically, I think, yeah, is he the same age? Well, I think he's a little bit older than Michael would have been. He's like Marlon Jackson's age or something. But I say all that to say, I was talking to him about the Jackson 5, the American Dream movie, and he was saying, we didn't know that the Jackson 5, like, he was going over like for example, like some of the abuse that they went through, or like some of the trials and tribulations that they went through before they got to Motown. And he was like, coming up, we didn't know that. Like, they were like the picture perfect family. So like, to see that they had these things going on behind the scenes, like, we never knew until the American Dream like really brought it to light. And I'm sure there are people that knew some things, but when you have a biopic like that, to fans, especially back in the day, like, now we have access to a lot of stuff, guys. We have got access to internet and like all that stuff, but back in the day, a lot of people just knew what they saw on TV, and that was it. Like, it wasn't this like overexposure. And so I'm curious to see what the biopic will be bringing to of course mainstream and everybody, but also to the MJ fan community. What are they going to be bringing that's going to make me go, oh my gosh, I didn't know that? Like, that for me is what I want to take away from this film is, oh wow, I didn't know that. Wow, Michael actually did that. You know, like, wow. Like, I want to come away from this movie wowed in more ways than one, and I want to come away from it having appreciation for some of the things that, you know, like, we've forgotten and we need to be reminded about. And that's kind of the reason why I've always done my channel and focus on like, hey, let's look at old videos, let's look at old interviews, because sometimes we need to be reminded of like who Michael Jackson was and all the things that he accomplished, because it truly is remarkable. So those are my thoughts and my hopes for the biopic. Let's get into these pictures, and then yeah, and then we're gonna get into something else, which I think is gonna be interesting for you guys. But so I'm looking right now at these photos, and I'm gonna just launch this gallery. Let me actually screen record so you guys can see what I'm seeing. And it's just funny because like in the past, like I've done these videos where I've just like made sure that I edited them and made them perfect, but now I'm to the point, you guys, where I'm like, I actually don't have the time. I don't have the time to edit like a video. So I'm just gonna do like these non-edited, like very like real talk videos and see what you guys think about them. Okay, you guys, that took me forever, but here we go. All right, so first we're looking at Nia Long, and it's so crazy to me because I'm like, I can't, like, I'm not registering this the way that I need to register it, but I'm gonna say off jump, I'm loving the hair. The costuming looks on point. I'm just scrolling to the next picture here. We see Coleman Domingo and Nia Long walking as the MJ's parents. Obviously, they're like walking to set. They're not like acting here. But it's just interesting because I'm like, wow, he really does look like Joe Jackson. Like, if you look, he's giving, you know, I am the Jackson 5 manager. Like, I'm in charge of this whole thing. Like, let's get this going. 1970s Joe Jackson. He's giving all of that. Maybe 1960s. And then you see on this third picture, we have Coleman Domingo, Nia Long. No. These are the brothers. Interesting. So these are the Jackson 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So this must be like, there must be filming like the very beginning, like late 60s stuff. Because the afros are not afroing the way that they were when the Jackson 5 was like popping on Motown. You guys remember how the fros were looking. This is not quite there yet, but I'm still loving it. Okay, this is, again, one of the other brothers, I'm assuming. And these names haven't been announced yet, you guys. They haven't been announced yet. I'm seeing here as well. Sorry, I said I wasn't gonna edit, and then my phone, my camera, like, died. So I'm looking at Jackie right now, and here's a photo of the child actor that's playing Michael. And I mean, I'm here for the authenticity of the costuming. That's cool. And then here's Coleman Domingo again. And like I said, you guys, let me just stop this screen recording real quick. I'm really liking what I'm seeing. And I'm saying that because, like, I'm liking the costuming. But I will be honest with you, like, I'm not enjoying the fact that we saw these pictures, because I feel like I shouldn't have seen them. I feel like it's giving, like, yeah, it's just giving, like, costume. Like, I don't need to see costume. Like, we need to see this in the context of, like, how it's gonna look on the big screen, and, like, that's all that matters. So yeah, they have a really strong cast. They have a ton of, like, budget. They've got the music. They've got it. They've got the family involved heavily. Obviously, like, Jaafar Jackson is playing Michael Jackson. Prince is on set, like, and very involved from what I hear. So, like, let's get it going, you guys. Leave your comments down below and let me know what you guys think, honestly, about the biopic and about these pictures that came out and about your thoughts. I was gonna do a sit-down video about some other things that are going on in the community and just, like, Michael Jackson world, but I think I'm gonna film a whole separate video about that, you guys. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I'm loving all of the news. Let me know if you're enjoying these, like, periodic news updates and hearing what I have to say. Or if you, like, prefer this in another format. Make sure you guys are following me on Instagram. Sometimes I post over there, not as much as usual, but I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. So yeah, I can't wait to talk to you guys in the next video. And you guys, April 2025, April 18th, put that on your iPhone calendar. Put that on your Android calendar. Put that in your Outlook calendar, because you're going to be taking off work, because we all are going to go see that biopic.